This is the Wuhan of Europe, where it started and where it was worst. Hospitals totally overwhelmed back in March. And like us in the UK, they didn't have enough testing. So they don't really know how many people died. But they've measured excess death, how many people died this time last year compared to this time this year. Now, in England and Wales, the increase is 113%. In Bergamo province, 568%. And in the village of Nembro, where I went today, 1,000%. So now lockdown is beginning to ease. No wonder what we found was a mixture of relief and fear and shock. It's a village of churches, but when the epidemic was at its height, they stopped tolling the bell for the dead in Nembro because there were just too many. Now restrictions have been lifted, you can visit the cemetery. So the Giovanni Morotti. Delia Morotti has come to see the temporary memorial to her parents, both in their 80s, married for 59 years. She was barred from seeing her father in hospital for fear of spreading the infection further, so she called him instead.
Capiva che stava morendo e mi diceva: io ho dolori dappertutto, non riesco a respirare. Quando vieni? Continuava a chiedermi. Non posso, papà, ancora qualche giorno. E le ultime parole sono state: va bene, io sto morendo, mi raccomando la mamma. Sono state le sue ultime parole.
But like others tending newly dug graves, she couldn't save her mother. In Nembro, 12 people died last year in the month of March. This March, 151 died. Delia was allowed into the hospital morgue to see her mother's body.
E vi dico che era piena di cadaveri, un sacco di persone, chi in terra coperte, chi nei lettini, chi sui tavoli, pieno di morti.
I'm so sorry.
Mi mancano tanto.
The shadow of death seems far from this valley. In Nembro and neighbouring villages, people live long and healthy lives. After generations of peace and prosperity, no one was prepared. Not the hospitals, not the local government, not the people. We've had a very rough time, she tells me. Very, very rough. Nembro's coming back to life, but everyone I've met here has lost someone to COVID-19. In 1630, 3/4 of the population of Nembro was wiped out by the plague. History doesn't repeat itself, but there is a sense of shock here. Such a relief to sit in the piazza like they used to do. But there are questions. Why did it take 2 weeks to lock down after the first death? Why was the local hospital at Alzano overwhelmed? Did the local government make mistakes?
Errori tantissimi. Solo la chiusura di non aver chiuso Nembro e Alzano è stato un grande errore. Partendo dall'ospedale di Alzano, che è stato un disastro, e qua probabilmente ci sono tante aziende che hanno voluto aspettare la chiusura per le aziende. Dicono però.
And what if there's a second wave?
Se dovrebbe succedere un altro caso, in Italia siamo tutti fritti, tutti morti.
Only the young seem optimistic.
But now it seems normally. Yes, it was difficult, but the worst seems past.
As they mourn, people think back to January and February, when their relatives started to fall ill and no one understood why.
C'era già qualcosa nell'aria. c'era qualcosa di strano. Poi non lo so se è stato uno tsunami, qui nella nostra valle sono morti tutte queste persone anziane.
The time for denial is long gone, and anger is coming to a village engulfed by sorrow.